Hi, my name is Anita Diaz, and today I'm very, very excited because I'm going to be interviewing remotely somebody that is 8,000 miles away from me. He's in Johannesburg, South Africa. His name is Robin Hogarth. He's a double Grammy winning producer as well as an international composer and arranger. He has composed and produced the music for numerous film and TV programs and has composed, compiled, recorded, or produced over 70 world music related albums. His music has been used in productions all around the world and has appeared consistently on the top of the Billboard World Music Charts. He is a celebrity advisor for Artists for a Better World. So, hi, Robin, how are you?
I'm great. Hello from Africa.
That's wonderful. So, Robin, let's get right into it because I have a lot of questions that I want to ask you, but these are the most important ones. So, Robin, can you tell me what inspired you to get into the music field?
I was very fortunate that my family was incredibly into music. My father played the piano, played the trumpet. My mother played the piano. And somehow we always had music around us. So we were singing harmonies, singing songs, playing instruments ever since I was small. And I just loved it. It felt like it was in my bones. And as I grew up, I knew that this was where I was going to go. It was going to be music.
What a beautiful childhood. I can just imagine it while you were answering the question, surrounded by music. And what are some of your most amazing accomplishments in the music business?
Well, I'm well known for winning a couple of Grammys. And I remember at the time thinking, wondering whether this was really an accomplishment, because of course it is an award, which is an incredible thing. But the background to that was some accomplishment because really there was a team of us involved, took people that were from the streets of Soweto, relatively poor, relatively underprivileged, and ended up on the red carpets of Hollywood. And what was important about that wasn't really the red carpets, it was the fact that they could achieve a dream. And they went on to do some amazing things around the world. There's a charity that they support. They have put many people on the road to fame and fortune, and that is no mean achievement. So I'm very proud of that, along with the whole team that did that. Um, and as part of all that, I guess I love playing in bands, with groups. And I've always been very interested in working with other people. And initially I started with a few people, but I won the Grammys as a producer, which means that you're working with people, many people, all the time. And I'm very proud of the fact that I've managed to help many of those people in what they do with their careers. Others have won Grammys as part of the process. So that, among other things, there's many things I'm proud of, but those are a few of them.
That's beautiful. Thank you for that response. And what humanitarian projects have you been part of?
I'm very keen on the subject of human rights. I'm an executive member of Artists for Human Rights. We have done projects, or I have done music projects that have related to areas that have really had some problems, like the Sudan. And of course, South Africa itself went through the whole apartheid side of things, and I was involved in music projects which I really promoted the human rights of many people. Yeah, so that is one humanitarian area that, or one humanitarian area that I worked on. Others have to do with communities. With a lot of the projects I do, we are doing action in various communities, and I'm very happy to be pretty good at doing workshops with all kinds of people, from kids, young kids, older kids, teachers, community leaders. teach them about art, about music, about how they can actually produce um, uh, an artistic product. So that's some of the things I've been working on.
That's wonderful. Sounds exciting. And how have your creative projects affected others you work with as artists or in life?
It's interesting that the creative process, as you mention it here, um, I think is the most incredibly valuable uh, ability that any human being has. So, you know, you can do a tremendous amount working with creativity. And when you're talking about creativity, you're talking about the person's own ability to create. It's not about me or him or whatever, it's about you, the person. And to actually see, for example, I'm trained in various things to do with things like stage manners, for example, or how you handle a microphone, or how you handle an audience. Um, how, if you are completely scared and your knees are knocking, you can still do something. How to handle someone throwing tomatoes at you, whatever the various things that can happen in life, let alone in the creative process. And it is a challenge and extremely gratifying to take people through that creative process to the point that they actually can communicate what they want to communicate to an audience, um, and really achieve the things that they want to achieve.
Help them become professionals at it. That's wonderful. And why do you support Artists for a Better World?
Artists for a Better World, for me, really deals with an incredibly important issue. And that, again, is this thing of creativity. When you look at the world today, or you look at the world or any part of it, South Africa is interesting. It's had its own journey. I know a lot about America and its journey. The latest album we did with Sweater Gospel Choir covered some of the struggle songs that the American Afro Americans, um, uh, dealt with, and so on. So I know some of that history. Um, and all the way through it, in Africa and in America and in many places, it's well known that when people, for example, sing, when they get creative, when they're working with other people, when in kids' schools, the schools that I've often dealt with. I mean, I love mathematics. I love a lot of different things, but I tell you, people light up when they can sing, when they can act, when they can get on stage, when they can get out there and actually do something. So, although this is a rather long way of answering your question, Artists for a Better World is dealing with that exact thing. And if you can A, help people, and B, uh, have more and more people involved. In other words, we in Artists for a Better World are united in our purpose in helping others create their dreams. And honestly, it does go across to other things. People have all sorts of dreams of what they want to achieve. But the artist is the core or the center of the creative thought. So that is why I'm part of Artists for a Better World. And I always will be, and I always will support an endeavor like this.
That's beautiful. I agree with you. That's why I support it too. I'm one of the founding members here in the Clearwater chapter. And what advice, what do you want to leave us with? What do you want to tell the aspiring artists that do not dare sing or dance or do whatever they would like to do and they're not doing it?
That is a very good question. I get asked almost on a daily basis, how do you win a Grammy? Uh, and I do get a lot of artists that want to know how to achieve the goals that they are achieving or can achieve, let's say. And the thing that I think is not always understood is that there is always a way to learn how to do something and to succeed at it.
Right.
Somehow there is this idea with artists that um, you've just got to be born with artistic talent, for example. And that is just not true. Certainly, we are all born with a lot of talent and a lot of potential. But if you want to learn the guitar, if you want to do anything artistic, if you want to paint a giant mural, if you want to go to New York and sing New York, New York in the streets of Times Square, you can do it. You can learn how to do it. There are many, many people who will tell you can't, will tell you that it's impossible. It just is totally possible. Of course, you have to be willing to look and confront what it is you want to achieve and how you're going to achieve it, and you have to be willing to work at it. Those things won't happen without putting in some sweat, blood, sweat, and tears, to quote a famous band. But nonetheless, you can do it. I tell my story. I started from nowhere. I had nothing. My parents, at that time were divorced, single mother, and so forth and so on. And then you could take the story of Soweto Gospel Choir. You can take each person in that choir, and you could see him or her on the dusty streets of Soweto, struggling with the type of problems that they are and have been confronted with, and yet they have achieved what they have achieved. So you can fulfill your dream, provided you are willing to look at it, look ahead, and work at it, rather than think a dim thought about it. Actually get out there and do it, and you can do it. The thing that you think you most can't do, perhaps, is the thing that you should do. You just should get out there on stage, and if you are, if you think you're going to fall apart and explode, you won't. You can actually
Exactly.
push it through and actually get there. So that's part of my message.
That's wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Robin. I hope I meet you in person when I get to South Africa. And thank you for your time. Continue to do great work.
My great pleasure. Thank you, Anita. I look forward to meeting you in Africa and showing you the jungle drum.
Yay!